Alright, good evening. Tonight we're going over rearranging Coulomb's law. This is equation 13.1 found on page 431 of your textbook. So let's get started with the base equation, where the electrostatic force between two objects is equal to K times Q1 times Q2 divided by R squared. And so F is going to be the magnitude of the electrostatic force. Q1 is going to be the charge of the first object. Q2 is the charge of the second object. And then R is going to be the distance between the centers of the objects. And the K represents a physical constant. In this case, it is Coulomb's constant, which is given on page 432. And so, with that, you can go ahead and start rearranging. So, first step, let's solve for R. So right off the bat, I'm going to multiply both sides by R squared. So it leaves me electrostatic force times R squared equals K times Q1 times Q2. Now to isolate R, simply divide both sides by electrostatic force, which is Fe, Q2, and then Fe comes on the bottom. And now to get rid of the exponent, I just take the square root. So we have R is equal to square root of K times Q1 times Q2 divided by Fe. And that is your derivation. So if you're given a problem with the charges of two objects and the instantaneous electrostatic force, and they ask you to find the distance between the two objects, you can use that, or you can find that using this equation, because you'll know K. It's given to you. It'll be on the top of your test, or in practice problems or whatever. Alright, so next, let's move on. Let's solve for the Q's here. So I'm just going to jump straight down to this equation because we have all our variables in a nice line, no fractions or anything. It's easy to work with. We can divide and multiply what we need to isolate different variables. And so to get Q1 by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by K times Q2. So I end up with Fe times R squared divided by K times Q2. That is going to be equal to Q1. Okay, very simple, just standard algebra rearranging of equations. Nothing advanced there. And then we can do, finally, Q2, and that is the last one. Again, this is super simple, barely any equations in this module. And so to solve for Q2, all we do is really just swap the signs because they're on the same side of the equation, they're being multiplied by each other. So again, we just divide the whole equation by K times Q1. And so over here we have Fe times R squared divided by K times Q1, and that's Q. Q1. And that equals Q2. Alright, yeah, extremely simple, nice and fast. It's barely even 5 minutes. And you have all the equations that you need. I didn't solve for K because that's going to be given to you on the test. That's some big, huge number that represents a constant that some dude found. And then Fe was given to us. So this is all you should need. Alright, hope this helped. Have a great night.